When I was a kid in either 4th or 5th grade, we had to make, and this is a horrible assignment to give a child, a paper mache.
Oh, God.
Terrible already.
Yeah.
2-scale solar system.
Wait, so you had like...
Which,
Yeah,
as you
what?
know, is f***ing absurd.
That's
to
impossible.
give a child.
One scale?
So kids, and
You need like a marble in a football field.
Yes, yes. So my son was like this big, and Pluto was still like 20 feet away, and I had everything connected with like dowels and strings and like.
How did you bring that into school?
I don't remember. I gotta ask my parents about this because I remember this project.
What you should have done is brought in the sun and be like, the rest is at home.
Where it belongs. Yo, what is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marquez.
I'm Andrew.
I'm David.
This week, it's still Tarch, believe it or not.
Are we doing I thought we were so
It is
over
still
this.
Tech March, and thus we have lots of things to talk about. We have dub dates getting announced. We have IG DMs. We have U.S. governments banning routers, lots of acronyms. Also some new Flighty updates, one of my favorite apps of all time. Ads in Apple Maps. No more Sora, and a million other little things. So let's just jump right
So many
into it.
things this week. It's crazy.
It's a lot of small things.
Yeah.
It's a
What we
lot
call
of
it.
4 bullet points.
Yeah.
The whole outline, pretty much.
But we could at least vamp, you know? That's what we're good at. Bullshit.
We yap. We're yappers.
Yes.
Adam's ready to yap. And did they even test it?
Oh, nice. Good segue. You caught me off guard. Yeah.
Oh.
Did they even test this? You might have caught it on the studio channel if you follow them. They did a short about it yesterday, Eric and Rich. But I was annoyed because me and Rich were transferring files yesterday and I gave him a hard drive. And then as he's going to give it back to me, he right clicks it and he looks for unmount. But it's right next to erase, like format. Who decided that,
Yeah. Even
that
worse.
eject and erase should
Yeah.
be right next to
I was
each
gonna
other?
say, even worse, they both start with a capital E. So it's just right there.
Like if you're not paying attention,
Yeah.
and I think I've done that.
I've never
accidentally
noticed
once
it, to
before.
be honest.
But erase does give you an additional prompt that says, are you sure?
No, yeah, and then I panic and I'm like, no. But I've definitely hit erase accidentally before.
Doesn't eject give you no, it doesn't.
No.
But you wouldn't be surprised if it got a prompt and you just hit yes and you're like, wait, did that
Oh, yeah.
say
Yeah.
erase?
That?
Your reactions to the enter button are much quicker than reading comprehension.
It's true.
Yeah.
And it's the same on. So it happened on his Mac, and then it was the same thing on my Samsung phone. It's also like if you go into the Files app and you hit the 3 dots to eject the hard drive or whatever, it's right next to erase. So this is like a standard.
Wait, when you connect a drive to your Samsung phone?
Yeah.
That's hilarious that more than one
That's what
company
I'm
did
saying.
this.
Like, who decided this?
Is it alphabetical? Hold on, this is crazy. Eject. I guess I don't have a drive attached. Wow. Maybe because they're alphabetical?
But nothing else. Wait.
I doubt it.
No, it's not, because right above it
It's
is like
probably just
new.
because it's an action for the
No, yeah,
disk.
if I
right
right-click anything, it's not in alphabetical order. So
because generally that drop down is like folder colors and a bunch of other stuff. So then those two are just like actions that are
Yeah.
similar, but not ones you want to be similar.
It's like engineer brain versus designer brain. You know, like engineer brain would be like, yeah, like those are two things you do to the drive. I'm going to order them in terms of severity. Whereas a designer would be like, at no point does anyone ever choosing between those two options. Like they should be far away.
Yeah. Erase should be at the bottom.
If we want a good example of a designer brain that may not have noticed something that feels too obvious, we just released these studio stickers, which if you are an audio listener, essentially what our design team has thought up of, which I think is really interesting, is the eyedropper tool from like Photoshop or any design program, except that we have cut it out. So there is it's not clear. It's just a straight cutout in the eyedropper and in the circle that it's selecting. So no matter what you put it on, it looks like you're selecting the color.
A lot of people got very confused at this. Somebody posted on our subreddit, our unofficial subreddit. They're like, I'm confused. How did they get the colors to match exactly?
Well,
But the
magic.
thing they put it on, and it's because there's a cutout and it's clear and you can see through it.
That's what I was saying. Like our designer, somebody said in Instagram, is there a red one? It's like, yes, there is any color you could ever think of.
Whatever object
because
you
it is
have.
using the object underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us ever thought that would happen. But there are multiple comments on Twitter and Reddit and Instagram. So yes, whatever color you would like, these are new stickers available.
Except teal. It doesn't work on teal.
It doesn't.
Well,
Well,
it shouldn't. Sorry, Dave.
I will say that it works much better on like brighter, more vibrant colors. I put it on my iPhone blue, whatever the blue color is called this year. And it's like, it's not as poppy. You know, when you put it on your water bottle, you're like, whoa, it like
Colorful,
looks
yeah.
like a red sticker, like
my
a
water
bright
bottle.
red sticker. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But on my dark blue iPhone, it's not as vibrant. So I would put it on your more vibrant.
You're using an old version also that has a clear outline, which creates less contrast on the overall.
Oh yeah, we updated.
Like-
Oh, you're right. I'm using a
it's-
vintage.
we have an
model.
all white outline now, so no matter what your color is, you should get a big contrast boost because it's
That's a
compared to
great
white.
point. That's a great point.
So
This is
yeah.
a classic of like we've been in the weeds working on this for so long that when it comes out, we assume everyone knows all of the things, but now you know all the things.
Luckily, this is just a sticker, and you can figure it out by
it's a sticker.
yourself.
You get the
later.
sticker, you're like, oh, this is nice. This is good.
Yeah. And if you want new things to put the stickers on, there's new software coming out in June from Apple because WWDC just got announced. You can put your stickers on your software in the metaverse
As long as it's not teal.
as long as it's not too.
I'm kidding. It's a sticker. It does work on teal.
Yeah, so here's one of our 2 bullet point things. Actually, there's only 1 bullet point. But WWDC starts on Monday, June 8th. It is once again on a Monday for some reason. I don't know why they keep doing this. Usually events are on Tuesdays so that people can travel and not have to travel over the weekend. But it is on a Monday. So, you know, we're going to be seeing what's going on there. There's going to be some new Apple Intelligence stuff.
iOS 27.
Hopefully, iOS 27, which brings us to Apple is reportedly testing a standalone Siri app. And we know that Siri is going to be powered by Gemini. And so this feels like it will possibly just kind of be a Gemini wrapper, you know, because Gemini has a dedicated app and that's how people interact with it. But you can also interact with it through the phone, through asking, you know, hey, G, what's up with this? You can do things via Gemini.
I thought a Gemini wrapper was just Meek Mill.
Oh wow.
Is
Did
that-
you have to Google?
That was a crazy cut. Not even deep because it was new.
You
but
just knew his-
if you saw it.
Who is Meek Mill?
I'm just on. No, there was a Twitter reference.
Yeah, it's a recent Twitter reference.
Meek
that
Mill,
like
Meek Mill's been
like
tweeting about AI all week. Sorry, I totally.
he's a
derailed
rapper
this.
also. If you didn't
Oh.
know that, hence
I thought you meant he was actually his birth sign.
That's what I thought too. Yeah,
No, Meek Mill's been tweeting about Claude all week. It's really funny.
yeah.
Got
that
it.
is funny. Okay,
I need to know now what's his sign. Hold on.
Is it a
Oh, no, he's
Gemini?
a Taurus. He's a Taurus. so-
Taurus Bros. Nice.
Anyway,
yeah. So it seems like we're going to get the Siri 2.0 potentially in the iOS 27 release, despite previously being stated that it will come out in iOS 26.4 or 26.5. Gurman is reporting that there will be a separate app that looks like iMessage when you message it.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is just because of what was the new one, OpenClaw, how people were like interacting it with through messages,
Telegram
and that was an
and stuff,
interesting like paradigm of just I want to chat with my chatbot. Everyone knows iMessage,
Yeah.
So an app that's Siri, but it looks like iMessage is interesting. It's a concept that Apple could do.
I think it's good and weird because like it's obviously familiar to iPhone users because it looks like iMessage.
Yeah.
But then also like the fact that there's 2 apps that look exactly the same, but one is the AI one. I guess you'll never get them confused, but it feels like maybe it could
New
just
color?
be in the Messages app. Like
That's what I
why
would
not just a top chat, like a pin chat that's now inside the Messages
Which is
app?
what WhatsApp did for a very long time.
and I think didn't Google Messages do that with Gemini? Or you can chat to Gemini.
You can chat to Gemini.
in
You
You
Google
can pin it
Messages.
if you want to the top, and
Yeah.
there's a chat in there.
So I
Yeah.
can see that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It's also being reported that they're testing a lot of new different Siri designs, which is kind of sad because I like the current kind of rainbow wavy one that they got going on. But apparently it may come out of the dynamic island, and it will probably be replacing Spotlight so that Siri can access different types of data because Spotlight is fairly limited on what the phone can access. And now that Siri is going to have this new LLM built in, it'll be able to understand more context and kind of reach for different types of things. And apps will also be getting an Ask with Siri option so you can get more context about the things that you're currently looking at on your screen. So it really kind of just feels like Apple is following what Google is doing with Gemini, where Gemini is embedded inside of Android and it's just kind of part of the OS. I think Apple is moving in that direction.
Clippy. Microsoft had it right years ago.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Google. We always say Google Glass ahead of its time. Clippy ahead of its time.
I like how
It's not.
they kill Clippy so hard. We're saying Microsoft's ahead of its time, and this Siri isn't even out yet, and we're still giving it more
Still,
credit.
Yeah.
that ahead of
Bring
its
back
time.
Clippy.
Bring
That's
back-
all you needed to do.
Some people were saying there were rumors that we were going to get a beta drop that included Siri like this week. I would personally prefer if they just waited till June and it was one big like release announcement because it'd be more exciting.
I think the thing I heard was like updated Gemini queries inside of like Apple Intelligence, but that the new Siri would be in iOS 27. Because like they have to drop it at WW.
Yeah.
Apple needs an event.
It's been 2 years
for everything except for AirPods Max 2, and then that's where they're going to drop it. Even though it probably should have been dropped at last WW, even though it probably should have been dropped at the
24.
Well, it was dropped at that one, and then not actually dropped at
announced.
the event.
Well, they
announced
they
and then
dropped
not
it,
dropped
yeah.
at the iPhone.
They did
event.
drop it, you know.
They dropped the shit out of it.
They dropped the ball.
Yeah. So, I mean, iOS 27 is going to come out officially with the iPhone 27. So that would be like a September-ish type of time frame. So if they announce what they're going to do with it in summer.
iPhone 18.
Yeah, sorry, iPhone 18,
Yeah.
iOS 27,
Yeah.
2027,
2027.
September.
Correct, yeah.
That could possibly be the big drop of like all the new features, the new Siri, everything comes out at once, and the new phone happens to have a couple other. We've seen rumors of like new features of the iPhone.
But we should get some developer stuff in like July, right?
Yeah.
When 27 beta comes
and
out.
early betas.
Well, the beta comes out on the day of WW. Like it drops that day.
Oh yeah.
developer beta. Yeah.
Developer beta,
Developer
but like
beta.
people usually aren't allowed to make videos and stuff until.
Fun fact: you're not technically okay. How in the weeds should I get?
I
you
also
phrase this?
Let's
Yeah.
get weedy right now.
Well, okay, you are not allowed when you sign the developer agreement to make videos about the developer beta.
Yeah.
Most people don't read that and don't care.
yeah.
But we are in a unique position where we have some working relationship with Apple, and so we try to follow the actual rules. And so when the developer beta comes out and everyone makes videos about the developer beta that they're technically not allowed to, but they do it anyway,
Yeah.
I wait
Yeah.
because I agreed to the developer agreement. And then a month later, when the public beta comes out, I make a video on that using my experience from the developer beta
Right.
on the public beta.
The benefit of Waveform is we can just report on everybody else's videos
Yeah.
and talk
I
about
can
it
point to
however
that.
we want
That's
before
true.
that.
Look at this.
Exactly.
That's that. Should we do the other Apple thing and just get it out of the way? Or what do you think?
Ads
Yeah.
in Apple Maps.
Yeah, okay. Apple's going to allow businesses to buy ads in Apple Maps. And I can already hear people being like, wow, Apple Maps is sucking, which I still don't like it, to be clear. I still like Google Maps a lot more. Google Maps, you probably don't know this, but has had ads for an extremely long period of time.
A Google product with ads?
It's their main
Are you
their
sure?
main moneymaker? That's
Oh.
crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, if you go on Google Maps right now, you'll just see Dunkin' Donuts around you without trying to search for it.
It's so weird. Oh, is that in? Maybe that's in Waze. I think Waze when
Waze
you're
is
just like
also in
driving and it's just like, hey, there's a Wendy's right there. It's like, okay, cool. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like your friend pointing out the window, like, hey,
yeah.
there's a Wendy's right there.
So it's going to allow people, people that want to sell ads to have suggested places at the top of search results. And this is going to be based on places that are trending and based on your recent searches. And it will not be associated with your Apple account because all of the data is stored on device. So they're still trying to be hardcore about security about that. And they also say that the places that you go to are not shared with advertisers. Now, that's also what ChatGPT said when they said that they were going to do ads, but we'll have to see if that's true.
What's funny about that is Maps is like a very personal app. It's like where you're going and your location all the time.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, and this is a hot take, but everyone loves, to talk about, I would rather have privacy than have personalized ads. But when you're in your Maps app, wouldn't you rather have personalized ads than like, I never drink coffee. Why am I still getting Starbucks ads everywhere I go? I would rather have the personalized ad for the thing that I would actually maybe go to than constantly get things that are not associated with me
Jollibee.
at all. Yeah, I feel like that I would actually appreciate that because I might actually go to the Jollibee and I would never go to the Starbucks that I might get an ad for from Apple.
You go to Starbucks a lot for a non-coffee drinker.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe that's a bad example.
But I just want to say, I've never seen someone go to Starbucks as often and never
I do.
order coffee.
I think people, I just get the breakfast.
You're big on
and
the pumpkin
The bread is. Can I warm
Just
it
in
up
case
for
you
you?
didn't know.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
I think best item at Starbucks is the thing that has the spinach and the feta wrap, the spinach feta wrap.
It's a solid breakfast. Yeah, they got a couple breakfast sandwiches. Anyway, my point is Google is going to give me ads
Definitely not.
based on the way too much that it knows about me.
Yeah.
And Apple is going to give me ads based on the knowing nothing about me.
Yeah.
And I suspect I'll be more annoyed by the ones that are for the thing that I've never considered going to.
That's kind of the big question that's been asked for the last few years because when Apple dropped the Ask App Not to Track feature and then Meta was like, wouldn't you rather that you had more integrated? And it's like, It's kind of, I don't know. I know a lot of people who buy a lot of things from Instagram ads. So I've never bought anything from an Instagram ad because I will not let them win. But I know that it can be quite effective for a lot of people. It reminds me of that story of the woman who didn't know she was pregnant, but Amazon did because it was certain
Target, yeah.
Target.
Yeah, Target, and then they start recommending things for.
it was
targeted her, I guess.
stages.
It was also a minor. So
I'll be interested in how this pops up. Is it popping up while you're searching for places? Is that taking over the top of it? Is it just suggestions when you first open Apple Maps? Is like you think about places like Yelp that were a place thing, and Yelp is just destroyed ever since they did all the like
ads.
You can pay to get like placed up higher and better reviews or whatever. No one cares about Yelp anymore.
Yelp has also famously like kind of exploited people, businesses, and called them and be like, we're going to take you off of our recommendations if you don't pay us. That's like there are stories about this. It's crazy. So we'll see. I mean, I don't even know how many people actually use Apple Maps anymore, but or not anymore, but ever did.
As long as it's clearly marked as an ad, so I can very quickly skip it, then I'm happy.
Yeah. So
that's the hard part, though. Is like, what if the ad does look really scrumptious?
Then that's a successful.
I know, but how many like what you said? If you see it say ad, I'm usually like hardwired to skip. But then there's the times where it's like, that does sound really good, but is this actually good or is this just an ad?
Then you got to do the second layer of research of like, let me click it, let me look at the reviews.
I'm hungry. I'm just trying to eat.
I know. It's usually
I'm trying to research.
That's
right
why
now.
I don't like. That's just why nobody wants ads and maps. Like you just want to find the thing, go to the thing. But the ad's going to pop up and be like, hey, what about, you want to go to this other place? You're like, no, I actually opened this app just to go somewhere else. Thank you very much.
it is frustrating. Even in Google Maps, will be like best food near me, and it'll give me like a 4.5 because that restaurant like paid for it or whatever. It's like suggested sponsored result. And it's like, ugh. Yeah, Apple is in this weird place where it's like slowly trying to transition towards other revenue sources because they're scared of the iPhone making less money over time and all of these things happening. And, they can't retain as many people as they want on their other services. So
this will come up again later in this podcast.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
It will.
It will.
Foreshadowing.
So, we'll see how that happens.
Marquez, what are you more excited about? The Samsung A series or Flighty?
Is that a question? Is that a real question?
I said
Literally
before,
licked his lips when we heard Flighty.
before we
Listeners.
started recording, I was like, I think Flighty is like top 5 app of all time.
Insane take.
And it's not like it's not multi-platform. It's not like a very broad thing that everyone can use. Not everybody flies enough to give it any hoots about Flighty. But if you do fly a lot, Flighty is goated, and everybody who flies a lot knows that. So it's weirdly it's tucked away in the corner of like, hey, do you fly a lot? No question about it. This app is unbelievably useful.
That will be a Flighty ad by Monday.
Sorry, it's just fact. Anyway, they just announced another thing. So kind of like. I'm describing it as like Waze for airports. They're calling it airport intelligence. And essentially what it does is it allows you a broader view of like what's going on with airports in general. So Flighty, for those who don't know, is like a flight tracker app. You put in your flight information. It tells you everything you need to know about your flight as you're about to fly, while you're flying. As soon as you land, it tells you where your baggage is going to be. If it's delayed, it tells you why it's delayed before the airline usually does. All this stuff. It's super useful. So airport intelligence is like, let's say, hypothetically, there's something going on with airports in your area.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. This could happen, maybe.
The timing for this release is perfect.
It's really good timing.
Yeah.
So something weird's going on at an airport in your area, and it's affecting like kind of all flights, and you're flying tomorrow, and you just kind of want to get an idea of like, maybe I should go to security check-in like 2 or 3 hours early, for example. Just a hypothetical. You would be able to look at the airports in your area and look at their status in this, which is sort of aggregating a bunch of data, I assume, from Flighty users and from, the FAA and everything, contributing to one spot, kind of like Waze. And you can get an idea of if the airport in question is affected or not and make your decision accordingly. So, again, as someone who flies a lot, another useful feature. I will be happily using this. It is kind of slow right now, I assume because it just launched, but it is full of information about every airport.
It's crazy that they launched this before the FAA did, but
I think that's the least surprising thing.
I mean, yeah, true. Yeah. There was an interview with the United CEO like a year ago, and they asked him, what is one thing that you wish that you did to like update your tech stack earlier? And he said, I wish we bought Flighty.
Wow.
Like he specifically said that. He was like, they're doing insanely good things. And I think they've made them offers and they said no.
Yeah. Every time I fly, I get my iPhone has the live activity for the United app and for Flighty, and I immediately dismissed the United one because I just used the Flighty one.
You should just not allow it to send you notifications.
Yeah. Well, I also click on it for my boarding pass.
Oh,
That's the one thing I have the United app for, though, is
Your
the boarding pass. Everything else I just get from Flighty.
Wait,
Yeah.
did they even test this? United boarding pass. If you have multiple people on the reservation and you are not the first one, if you have like your boarding pass up and ready and then lock your phone waiting in line and then come up, it resets back to the first one. I've scanned Adam in before on business trips, and then we have to figure out which one I did wrong.
Yeah.
Terrible, United.
Yeah. You should be able to pin your boarding pass.
Yeah. You should be able to have your boarding
can do
pass in
that.
Flighty.
It's-
You should be able to what?
Be able to have your boarding pass in Flighty
Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Why can't we do that? There's probably a reason why we can't do that.
because they want you to use their app.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
that's probably why.
Anyway, so that's that. The other thing that you mentioned, Andrew, is Samsung dropping the new A series of phones. I only put this in here because I thought it was just a note and interesting that they all have the same battery size.
These aren't notes.
So yeah, so it's the Samsung A57 and A37. The A37 will be $449. The A57 will be $549. So these are like your mid-range fighters. We've seen a lot of phones coming out at this price points. And they look just like the rest of the Samsung S series phones, like S26s. They look like they have triple cameras, but one of them is a macro camera. You know, they make the appropriate cuts to reach these price points. But the one thing they did is they both have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, which is the same size as the S26 Ultra. So the $1,200 phone has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and the $450 phone also has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery.
It's one of those things where you're like really pumped for the cheap phone and really bummed for the expensive phone.
Pretty much.
It's like hard to complain about this because I'm so happy that the mid-range phones are getting that.
Yeah.
But you gotta take that as a kick in the teeth if you bought the 26 Ultra.
Yeah, you can't. I said it in my review, so I don't have to harp on it again. But that is maybe the least ultra phone right now.
Yeah.
Is the S26 Ultra.
Back to the S20 days.
Great phone. I told it like it is in the review. But yeah, as far as the word ultra concerned,
Adam, did you purchase another phone?
The S26 Ultra.
he had it last. What color was it? It was a different color that I've seen.
It's black.
Yeah, the black.
Yeah, the black one.
Yeah, I had the like purple one.
How long do you plan to stay on that?
Till the iPhone allegedly folds. We'll see.
Interesting.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to change earlier.
Definitely.
Possibly.
I thought you were going to say till my next shipment comes in of whatever I ordered yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you could buy that, or you could buy a MacBook Neo. So choose wisely.
For $1,200.
No,
Buy two.
The cheap one.
Oh, yeah, the cheap
the
A.
A.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you could buy that or a Neo. That's wild.
Speaking of the MacBook Neo, you want to talk about this Windows 11 problem?
Yeah, we could do this before break. So, recent video on the channel will be live by the time you see this, which is just talking about the Windows laptop problem. This was inspired by the two Mac laptops that I've tested most recently, the MacBook Neo, their $599/$499 mid-range fighter, and the M5 Max MacBook Pro, which I've also tested. I was running all my benchmarks on it. It had like 18,000 megabyte per second SSD read and write speeds, which is crazy. It has benchmarked multi-core higher than any other Mac ever, including the Mac Pro and M3 Ultra. It has GPU scores matching M3 Ultra, which is insane. This is a Max chip in a laptop. So I'm actually thinking like this is now a laptop that could actually replace my Mac Pro and be my desktop. I might be that guy at some point. But having all these thoughts also made me think, well, what's going on in Windows land? Like, what is actually the equivalent of, you know, the highest end laptop you could get, and could it be the desktop that I choose to use? How good are those laptops? And so that had me digging into like, okay, what's going on with XPS? What's going on with Razer Blades? What's going on also with the Neo competitors? I bought a $550 Acer laptop. We tested that. And essentially, a conclusion I came to was Apple's Apple Silicon advantage and their vertical integration is a huge advantage at the high end for efficiency and performance. And it turns out to also be a huge advantage at the low end for cost.
Yeah.
And the cherry on top is that Apple doesn't actually really need to make a ton of money on Neos on the hardware margin.
The services.
Because it's basically, as I said in the video, like a Trojan horse for new Apple customers, which then will spend way more on software, on services, on Apple Care, on Apple TV, on Apple Creative Studio, all these other things. So they don't have to make the $100 on the hardware margin, but they will make a ton of money over time on just getting a new person to be a Mac user.
This is the entire Chromebook play. It was get people on Google services when they're 5 years old, so they will use services for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to sort of see that in real time and just like put the machines next to each other and be like, oh yeah, they can make just a straight up better laptop for the same price, and that's going to get people to become first time Mac people.
I mean, a Windows computer has parts from a ton of different companies, and every single one of those companies has to make margin. That's literally the main problem.
Disadvantage off the riff, like
Insane
just having to do that, and that bites. It's like similar with Android phones. It's similar with tablets. It's just like when Apple has the full integration through, there's a benefit there. Even just like making software on mobile, right? Like we see all the time. If you're making iOS software, you don't have to do it that hard. But if you're making Android software, it has to fit
1,000,
like thousands of tens of thousands of different like form factors and phones and resolutions and aspect
why Google has
ratios
been so hardcore about just trying to make Android so flexible with screen sizes and stuff.
And that's part of the advantage, right? Is there is a choice. Like in Android land, if I really, really, really care about having 8K video, well, there is no iPhone that can do that. So if I just want to choose a phone that can shoot 8K video, you can find that in Android land. You can find all sorts of other different things you might care about, like a folding screen or whatever in Android land.
Yeah.
But the couple of phones that Apple makes are like locked in, super tightly integrated, and you might not be super used to the way they do things, but they do it the same way every single time. Right. So you kind of just get used to that when you're in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of the same thing with Windows. Now, in this sort of latest generation, this is the nuance of it, is yes, you depend on all these different companies who make the parts to your computer to all make their margin, but also make a good piece. You have to make a great Windows laptop, several different companies all executing and firing on all cylinders at the same time for your one computer to be good.
Yeah.
So if you're Dell and you make the XPS like I showed, you're also depending on Intel to be making a good chip at that time, which they are. And, you know, your Dell, you have to make a good computer with a good screen and a good keyboard and all that stuff, which they are. And you need Windows to be good.
I'm fine with Windows. I like Windows.
Yeah.
So Windows 11 is in kind of a weird place because not everybody's loving Windows 11. I haven't used Windows since Windows 10, and I was jumping into Windows 11 again, and I set up this XPS. It took me 45 minutes to set it up.
The setup is
because
insufferable.
There were mandatory downloading updates and stuff. Once I got through the updates, it was like, sign into this, sign into that, download Microsoft 365. Do you want to use Copilot? Do you want Recall on? Do you want all these other things? And I was like, no. All this stuff it was asking me. And then I finally got into my clean install of Windows, and then I got a pop-up for McAfee to be installed.
And this is the other thing. The only other way that these manufacturers that make the laptops can make the laptops cheap enough to even be competitive at all is that they have to put a bunch of bloatware on it. They have to
make more.
Yeah, I mean, we see this on Android phones too. Like the Android phones that come with Facebook installed and come with Instagram installed. They don't do that out of the kindness of their heart. They do that because Meta pays them to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's not a good situation for anybody else. Yeah. And Microsoft really, they tried to do the vertical integration with the Surface, but they're such a B2B company that it's such an afterthought for them. We saw this with the Pixel for a very long time, the Nexus program, the Pixel.
Now Tensor.
Google didn't really care about the Pixel, and they still don't really care. They're trying to care more, and the Pixels are really good now. They're really, really good now. But it still doesn't have quite the level of vertical integration that they would like.
And even if they achieved it, they're in this weird spot where they make Android for everyone else.
Yeah.
So they're competing against all of that.
Yeah.
While also providing them with the OS. So this happens in Google land because they make the Pixel and Tensor and they're all vertically integrated, and they'll give the Pixel exclusive Android features, and now they're competing against every other Android phone. Same thing happened with Windows and Microsoft and Surface and making this beautifully, ideally, very vertically integrated thing. Now you're competing against all the other OEMs trying to make good Windows machines. And maybe that's like a lead by example type thing, but it never went well.
Yeah. And the funny thing about the Google Android features thing is that they also want to make Android a popular OS to compete with iOS. And so they have to eventually give a lot of these features to the broader Android ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And that's why Google does this awkward thing where they have Pixel exclusive features for like 2 months, and then it goes to every other Android phone because they need other people to want to use Android in general. And it's also why they had that weird bromance with Samsung for such a long time.
Yeah.
Ellis, did you have
Ellis,
something
you
to
look
say?
like you really want to say something.
I know. I've just been fighting a Windows PC all week, and like to be honest, I it's all tinfoil hat stuff. Like because it's a Windows PC that on paper has a really good graphics card and a really good good enough graphics card and a good enough processor, but like, and we didn't build this PC, and it sort of is the things that I think you've been talking about, Marquez. Like it's for a video we're working on that involves this like peripheral device that connects via USB 3.0, and it keeps crashing all the time. And I couldn't figure out why it kept crashing. And my working theory right now, and I haven't like tested this, so again, it's tinfoil hat, is that the USB 3.0 ports on this computer are just not USB 3.0 ports. That's my best guess. Because and the USB 3.2 ports are USB 3.0 ports. And it's like, there's no way the company who built this PC, they didn't build the ports. They definitely got the USB I/O box like from
The motherboard?
Yeah, from someone else. But it's like that. It's sort of what you're talking about. It's like you need all, or like for some reason, not a single Bluetooth keyboard will connect to this PC. Not one. There's one Logitech keyboard in the whole office that will connect for 30 seconds and then immediately disconnect. And the rest of it, and it's not like I haven't tried all 100 Bluetooth keyboards that are in the
Who
office.
could those be? Where could those have come from?
And so this is all ringing very true.
It also is shaped like a shoe.
Well, I was trying not to say because I don't know if any of these are the problems. I don't want to out.
There's a chance like that computer doesn't get used very often. There might be some driver updates that are in there that we haven't like dug that deep into, where like it was dormant for a while. So
totally. And
some are probably that, but some are also like it should be easy to figure out what those problems are.
I don't want to accuse anyone of counterfeit USB ports, but I genuinely cannot. I'm at the point now where I'm like, why does the USB 3.0 cable not get USB 3.0 speeds until it's in the 3.2 port? Why does the 3.0 port not give 3.0 speeds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking into the eyes of your hat for a second.
Yeah, I should probably address this. This is Franklin, the mascot of the Philadelphia 76ers. Thank you to fan Michael for the sick hat. I'm going to be wearing this the whole
Why do they have a
episode.
cat as the mascot?
It's a dog. And
That's
his
a
name's
cat.
Franklin.
That is a cat. 1,000%.
Isn't Franklin a turtle?
It has whiskers.
Hey, Franklin is Benjamin Franklin, the founding father.
That's-
which half of the things in
He was
Philadelphia.
a dog?
Benjamin Franklin was, in fact,
What number president
dog.
was he?
he was president number 6, and when he signed the
was
Declaration of
76.
Independence, it was a paw print.
He got that dog in him.
Cat print.
Yeah.
To bring it back, I think the best
Still
way.
a paw print.
I didn't notice that. I feel like the best way, if you really want an example of the difference between like the vertical integration in Apple and the vertical integration in Android Windows, go on our Apple and go on our Android and watch. Everyone in Apple is just generally mad at the same thing, where everyone in Android is mad at each other, because even though they're all using Android, they're all fans of different companies of phones, and they all hate each other. It is just the wildest infighting ever. And like, now imagine all of those different people need to work together and build something. And it's just,
And to be fair, like,
I'm a full Android and Windows user at home, by the way. I only use Apple stuff at work.
I like Android better than iOS by far. And there's a great piece by David Pierce. He tried to use Android for like the last 4 months, and he used a bunch of different phones, and he really liked the Fairphone 6, but it doesn't work on Verizon, so he couldn't do it. But he went back to iOS because his conclusion was effectively phones are app machines, and iOS has better apps. And he relies on too many iOS apps to go back to Android, which sucks because Android is a way better OS.
well, I want to play devil's advocate because as someone who's like fully Apple, ecosystemed up, there are a lot of these like vertically integrated things in the Apple world that are like not supported to the degree they should be. Like Freeform has like 6 updates that they just need to add. Like there's just no excuse why Freeform doesn't have these things, but I just don't think they care enough about Freeform to do it.
I don't think they do.
And there's or like, why does the Apple Mail app still kind of blow? You know?
It
Or like,
sucks, yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's email.
That's what, when you're
Waiting
just
for
the
the big-
default and you get to be the default thing for what,
Right.
80% market share
Power
of the
the
US,
default.
like why change
Why
it?
update it?
Yeah, but like, why is it so hard to rotate something on the desktop version of Freeform? And why is it so hard to select multiple objects on the mobile version of Freeform?
I would like to see the
Like-
user base for Freeform.
It's me.
Yeah, I know.
I keep
That's why
your
that's my
average
point.
Apple user. There's definitely some people who hate
No.
Apple screenshotting you in the cat hat right now. Like
a
average
dog.
Apple user.
It's
There's
a dog.
also
Benjamin Franklin.
there's also it's kind of like either that or the massive graveyard of stuff that Google tries and then just kills a year later.
Right,
So it's like, would I rather have the kind of weak
Consistency.
updates, but at least it works the same way every time on one side of the fence, or like Google launching an app and me going, I don't think I want to switch to this because I don't trust them to even keep this alive for a year.
Rip inbox, bro.
Yeah.
So true.
So
Aloe.
there's choice on one side, but there's the upside and downside of that
Yeah.
choice.
Also, there's at least 6 Freeform users because there are several things that I force my friends to do on Freeform with me.
So they're monthly.
Plan
active
vacations.
users, not
Freeform
daily.
is excellent for that.
This whole conversation is also negating people who have like very specific needs that software wise or like needs to be on a Windows machine, needs to be on Android, needs to be on iOS. Like we're talking outside of that because clearly then you
Yeah.
only have one option.
Almost every business distributes Windows computers.
I think that's a big part of the equation for like why they are where they are. Especially because like you talk about like David having like he'd come from an iPhone, so he's already plugged in and uses a lot of iPhone only apps.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who play a certain game that you can't play on Mac, or there are people who use certain softwares for their business that are just only Windows XP. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real thing where okay, now Windows XP has a massive market share because that's still stable and that's the thing that we use and
yeah.
that's where our apps are. So like if your dependencies or you're plugged into one specific thing, like I'm a Mac user, I you not because I switched to Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
That is why I started using a Mac.
Yeah.
And now here we are a decade later and I'm in the ecosystem and they got me.
Yeah.
That's the point of Neo. That's the point of like all these other, feelers is to just get a device in front of you that gives you options and hopefully you like one of those things and then you are sucked into that ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I was the lead reviewer at Android Authority for 5 years. I didn't use an iPhone until the iPhone 13 when I reviewed it, and I didn't switch to an iPhone until the iPhone 15 because I had USB-C. I would have never touched an Apple device, and all of my dependencies were in Android. Like, I could use my world. Nobody texted, because when I lived in the Bay Area, everyone used Facebook Messenger, but then I moved here, and now, I swear, I am in so many iMessage group chats that every time I test an Android phone, they bully the shit out of me.
Now look at you. What have they done to our lad?
I know.
yeah.
And I know that you say that's not a real problem, but bullying is real. Okay? I don't like crying. Do you like crying? It sucks.
We should get on GroupMe.
No.
Oh my God.
Fun fact.
Oh my God.
Worst app of all time.
First messaging app of the MKBHD business.
Yeah.
When Brandon and Vin started, it
was a group
Well,
me.
because Marquez and I were in a group me for both of our ultimate teams.
Every
at the
Frisbee
time.
team I've played for 15 years until like last year was a group me
That's
team.
unbelievable.
That was the most
bad.
feature, not an app of all time.
It's
of all
one.
time.
It's genuinely. I was talking about Flighty being one of the 5 best. GroupMe is one of the 5 worst apps
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make one final note related to this, and then we can take it to break on the Windows 11 thing. Dave 2D put out a really good video recently about this, and the gist of this was that a number of years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, he had all of the Windows manufacturers send him laptops that were in the same price range as the Apple M1 Air, I believe, so he could compare them. And all these manufacturers like, sure, yeah, like here's our laptop that's that price. And then he asked all the same manufacturers this year to send him laptops that were in the same price range. And they were all like, no. And I feel like that kind of distills the entire thing. That's all you really need to know. Because
they
they're
knew
all
the
afraid.
video. They knew the video he was going to make.
It was going to make it look negative. Yeah, it was going to make it look terrible. They didn't really know at the time how insane M1 was, but they still feel 5 to 6 years behind at this point. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So go watch the video if you haven't already.
I want to say something nice about Windows.
Go for it.
Because everyone always tells me I'm too mean to my Windows green bubble people. I know those are 2 separate
Windows green bubble.
things. To me, you're the same. But
Yeah, that's fair.
something nice about Windows, I like that they support old graphics engines. I like that I can still get a DirectX driver that runs on a modern Windows motherboard. I think that's cool. Apple does not do that.
Choice.
Pre-metal stuff, very hard to run on Mac OS. DirectX stuff, very easy to run on a Windows computer.
Pre-metal, we use like rocks and fire. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the name of the old Apple graphics engine, actually. Rocks and Fire.
Hell
Yeah, Steve Jobs was super against it.
Yeah, and then when Johnny Ive came in and he said aluminium, and they knew it had to be metal.
That's a great place to jump to trivia.
What was the old graphics driver of Apple? Rocks and fire.
Today we're doing a number question, and it's Delta, not Price is Right rules.
Is it United?
No, it's Delta.
We'll talk about United later.
Yeah, we will. Will we?
Yes.
I
thought.
think we lost our chance to talk about United.
Oh,
Yeah. Also,
we don't have to talk about it.
that's really cool, but they're like the 7th airline to do that. So I was sort of like, why are we freaking out about this? Skycap. It's called Sky.
It's mingling beds.
In regular class?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a super premium crazy feature.
No. Most other airlines just call it. The first one that did it.
What you're talking about?
Oh.
United was like, guys,
I
you
forced
can
us
get a
into this.
whole row.
Yeah.
And then
Three
you can turn it into a bed.
And Mingle.
Relax row? Relax row.
Relaxo.
Yeah.
Other airlines call it
Mingle
Sky
row.
Couch. I think JetBlue does this too. A bunch of the European airlines do it. But this is not like a new groundbreaking thing. This is like a United catching up sort of thing.
Well, they pretended it was.
Anyway, well, of course, that's a business thing. But anyway, today's trivia question is
Yeah.
Delta. How many Wikipedia pages have the title Apple TV?
I'm assuming it counts if it's like Apple TV parentheses something.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
cool.
and I'm only accepting Apple Space TV, by the way. That exact set of, was that 9 characters in a space?
What about would Apple TV Plus count?
7 characters in a space.
Or does it just have to be Apple
It's
TV?
APPLE space TV and then something in parentheses.
Oh,
How many Wikipedia pages have that exact title?
damn.
Cool.
Delta. Okay.
Pretty good question.
Can we do a quick
huh?
shout out?
Yeah.
Sure.
Someone on our subreddit watched Waveform at a planetarium
Yeah.
at their university.
That
It was
was the
so
coolest thing
cool.
That was
I
sick.
kind of want to know what that sounded like. It was probably so
Probably
loud.
like a bee's ass.
Dude, I've heard that sounded amazing. I was
probably the opposite.
Yeah.
When I worked at Liberty Science Center, the planetarium was sick, and it was also, it sounded really good. I don't remember
sounded
why
really
I
good.
remember it sounded really good, but the videos that they played, because it's like you're looking up, everything's
Yeah.
around you, there's speakers everywhere.
Your visual field is making it sound better.
Yeah. At least my memory of it was that it sounded sick.
I really hope they played the episode where Andrew says he can't name all the planets.
I wish he stretched it. I wish there was a stretch to fit somehow
Yeah.
because
60.
seeing
The
one
whole
of our
thing.
giant faces circular over top.
That
of
is
it.
what it felt like to watch Project Hail Mary in the front row in 70
Oh
millimeter.
man, I've seen the clips of Oppenheimer from the front row and just crimson chin.
I watched Oppenheimer from the front row, and I watched Project Hail Mary from the front row.
Amaze.
Amazing.
Shout out to that person on our subreddit.
Yeah.
All right.
Photo. I'll send it
We will
to you.
think about the trivia question. Answers at the end, like usual. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't think I can name all the planets. Still can't.
Support for the show comes from Monarch. Hard to believe it's already spring. That's mostly a good thing. The sunshine, the great defrosting, the spring cleaning. There's just one drawback: tax season. But breathe, it's going to be okay, especially if you use Monarch. Simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch's the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning all together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code WAVE. And with their AI assistant, you'll get access to a 24/7 financial coach that can actually help you answer questions about personal spending trends or debt repayment, or in this case, where you might want to put your tax return. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code WAVE at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code WAVE. All right, welcome back. There is some news of a product that was killed, but not by Google.
Big day.
It was killed by OpenAI. It's called Sora.
Thank God.
Ring a bell? Anyone remember Sora from a couple months ago? I actually remember making a video when Sora first came out.
We've made 2, I think.
Yeah, 2 now at this point, of their video generation models. You
Yeah.
could generate models. You could
Slop.
generate video, slop, yeah. But it would get higher and higher quality over time. And I remember the first videos from Sora, they were, Will Smith eating spaghetti, but like higher fidelity than before. And it got better and better. And it cost more and more and more. And then OpenAI was like, this costs too much.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they made that realization. Because, I mean, there's other video generation models out there, but Sora was like the big one that everybody knows about from OpenAI. And they made the decision to kill the Sora app, and I assume the entire AI slop generator from top to bottom is now gone. They'll probably turn those GPUs towards something else that we're very excited about, maybe. But yeah, no more Sora.
Yeah, big day to dance on a grave.
I'm dancing, boy.
Yeah, I'm
What's
dancing.
the meme of like, is he giving the peace sign or the praying sign? Like
where he's
on
like
the
in front of the
grave?
grave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sora was bad. The funny thing about this that we reported on when it happened was that Disney had made a $1 billion investment deal with OpenAI about Sora.
Oh, yeah.
And Disney said, we are going to invest $1 billion in OpenAI over X period of time. And Sora is going to be in the Disney Plus app with AI-generated versions of our characters that you can just sort of scroll through on the Disney Plus app as a sort of like little Disney TikTok feature. This never launched. And reportedly, the Sora engineers didn't even really know that Sora was getting killed. They even put out a guidelines as to like their safety standards about Sora the day before they announced that they were killing it, which is very funny. And now that $1 billion deal is not happening. So OpenAI can't find money, and now they really can't find money.
I guess $1 billion is like pocket change for them.
I mean, I guess how much money were they burning in the process of
Billions.
Yeah,
this
probably more than
misinformation
that.
out? Yeah.
And also, one thing you should know is that pretty much every OpenAI deal is not real money. It's like the idea of money. Nothing ever really happens. Everyone's like, NVIDIA's like, we're investing $1 trillion in OpenAI. And they're like, what does that mean? And then they just sort of do jazz hands and walk away.
You're gonna be
So-
left out, bro.
You know, none of these circular deals are inflating the stock market, and that's why you're seeing a lot of red
I feel like
recently.
a lot of them are like promises to invest over time or something.
That's what the Disney one was. It was $1 billion investments over a period of time, and it didn't even start.
Yeah, no money had changed hands.
No money had changed hands,
Huge win.
so it's not happening.
Yeah.
David, I'm going to give you $1 billion over the next 3 years.
I hope my stock goes up.
Psych.
Yeah. So another funny thing about this is that Meta had acqui-hired a guy to lead the superintelligence lab, and the first product that they launched was an AI slop video generator that was supposed to compete with Sora. It was horrible, and I think they shut it down too. Hopefully, but this is good for everybody. Like, we don't need more AI slop. If you're ever on Twitter, there's a lot of fruits cheating on each other on there. I don't know if you've seen this.
Fruits?
Yeah, fruits. What? Yeah.
There's some weird stuff.
Wait, you guys haven't seen this?
I'm jealous of you guys not
I
seeing
see mostly because you can do like the remixes with YouTube videos. Every once in a while, I'll go to one of our old videos to reference something, and I'll just be like, blah, 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 remixed with this video. And it's a short of like a pregnant cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're always pregnant.
And there's always like a pregnant cat and a dad cat, and they're like having a baby. And I was like, your voice over the background.
Well, and the background
Talking-
music is always meow, 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 meow. It's really bad. It's like, I think it
Shared
redefines
hallucination are you all having?
it redefines the word slop. Like, really, it does.
It's also, this stuff makes a ton of misinformation out there.
For sure.
Not just straight slop.
Not just
like
free cheating.
literal harmful videos.
Yeah. So I'm glad it's gone.
I'm glad I missed that.
Dance on the grave. Speaking of Instagram, Meta doing slop things, do you want to break this down?
Yeah,
for
I'll
us,
try and
Andrew?
break this down really quick.
Okay.
IG DMs are no longer going to be end-to-end encrypted by May 8th. This is kind of a, I mean, I think everyone knows what end-to-end encryption is. You and the recipient are the only ones who are able to see the message due to code,
Encryption.
encryption, yeah,
Yeah,
that it has
encryption
to break.
keys, yeah.
Keys,
Public
thank
and
you.
private keys.
So like this feels like a really big deal headline wise, but like there's a couple weird things about this that make me confused. So I'm going to read out a couple of the reasons why I think, or they've said they're ending this encryption,
Okay.
and everyone can be the judge on why they think they really are ending it. So the way they announced this, first of all, Meta, is not like a full post. So they updated a 2022 news post about encryption to say that encryption is ending on May 8th.
Whoa.
So like 2 months away.
Burying it.
And a couple reasons. One, a Meta spokesperson said that, which I didn't know about, the encryption is opt-in on Instagram, which I never knew about. I'm sure most people don't know about. And they said very, very few people on Instagram use encryption anymore.
Because it's opt-in.
Because it's opt-in. Exactly.
Yeah.
Poor
Communication.
Not even just communication, just poor design. I mean,
Well,
Meta probably doesn't want it to be encrypted because they want all of that. So like, yeah,
there's a lot of drama going on right now with like the EU and
Yes, that's
the
my
UK.
next point.
Yeah. Okay.
So like the next point is FBI, Interpol, UK safety organizations are all urging Meta to break encryption because of child safety, because of how much Meta in general and Instagram specifically is essentially harming children in so many different ways, one of them being through DMs. And with encryption, if the correct people have the encryption on, it makes it really harder to find chat logs or stuff like that. So they're urging Meta to end encryption. Another thing is Meta is just not getting rid of encryption in WhatsApp. They're telling people to just move to WhatsApp if you want encryption.
Just use WhatsApp,
messages.
bro.
They literally pulled the just use WhatsApp.
I hate this.
And then the last reason, which I think most of us can agree on, is Meta's favorite, but maybe the one they don't want to
Training a
admit
model.
is yes.
Yeah.
Without encrypted DMs, they have the ability to use those DMs to target you with advertisements and train AI data on your messages. Which the reason this is all kind of weird is it seems like most people aren't using it, so they're probably doing all of this anyways. But like the actual end to this is probably just saving them money because they don't have to run compute to encrypt
and saving
things
them
anymore.
face with like all the public stuff with the.
It's really nice that they're having other people like government agencies tell them to remove it, so they can just be like, well, that's the reason we're removing it. Thanks for the training data. Thanks for the advertising. That's kind of, I'll let everybody be the judge of how they want to see this story with encryption. But I think the thing to know here is if you really care about privacy and encryption, don't touch a Meta product.
Yeah.
That's like the easiest thing here. Is,
the number one advertising company in the world.
Yeah. I think Meta realizes that like a lot of the DMs on Instagram, they mostly care about you sharing reels and sharing posts and pushing you to other parts of Instagram to spend more time on and gather more data to spend more money. So they don't really care about this. WhatsApp is still encrypted if you want to use that. But I personally would just stay away from Meta products if I really cared about my privacy.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, they just announced yesterday as well that they're going to integrate sort of like buy now buttons into Reels. Kind of TikTok Shop has this, where you can be watching a reel or something, and then it will show a little like you can buy this now, and it outlinks to a store. Of course, Instagram is going to add that. So
YouTube Shorts has this already, probably the like little product shelves.
Dude, on Amazon, what is like Prime TV? Prime? What do they call
Video?
it? Prime Video.
Prime
Yeah,
Video.
you'll be watching like Fallout or something, right? And then it cuts to an ad. And in the ad, there will be a purchase on Amazon button that you can just do straight.
sense.
It's like, holy moly, we are, because I only wanted to watch Fallout and I haven't used Amazon Prime TV in like a really long time. And I was like, wow, we're in the dystopia where you can literally, the product is in your face and there's just a one-click buy now and ship to me immediately button.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with
It is so crazy.
the like UI on all these short form contents, how far are we away from it just feeling like the old annotation like scamming where just there's like 20 different boxes up on your screen? Because we have all these different sets of guidelines for different short form because depending on where you put text or something in a video, it's going to get covered by a username, an icon, the description, and like now we're adding shops and stuff. This is already a really small form factor of what we're watching. There's not a lot of real estate there. So adding all of that on is,
yeah, it's crazy.
we're just not even going to watch videos anymore.
It's okay. They're pushing you to use Instagram on the iPad because all they want you to do on that is watch Reels anyway. And then you won't misclick because it's a bigger screen.
Wow.
True. Big brain.
Got him. Kind of related, the U.S. government has officially banned consumer routers made outside of the United States, which, by the way, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, essentially all. The only one I can really think of that's
Asus.
not is Starlink because that's made in Texas. If you can,
Is that a router?
yes,
I guess.
but
Sort
like
of.
it's not what you would think of in the general sense of like a router when you already have an ISP and you're using it as a router in your house.
Yeah.
So like similar to banning drones made in foreign countries, the FCC is adding consumer grade routers made outside of the US to a covered list. And if you're not sure what that is, the covered list is a list that the FCC and Homeland Security Bureau use to add devices that, quote, pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States or the security and safety of US persons. Like you just mentioned, we're all pretty familiar with where technology is manufactured. it's not in the
It's
US.
not here.
And like,
It's not here.
seriously, it's got to be 90+% of routers.
Dude, I mean,
are
yeah.
made outside of the US.
I'm just looking up I'm going one by one to look through all the router companies that
They're all like
or be,
Taiwanese.
they're all not made here.
But even some of them might be stationed or like headquartered in the US.
Yeah,
They're still not
headquartered.
manufactured in the US.
Yeah.
So like, first of all, if you already own a router that's doesn't meet this criteria, it's
Yeah.
going to work fine. But the new ones then coming into the United States will be put on a list where the radios won't be authorized.
It's just insane. Like, it's so isolationist to say anyone not made in the United
I
States.
think that's wild.
Like, it would be more understandable if it was like from specific countries that the government deems to be adversaries or whatever. But the fact that it is not in the it's like, I cannot name a single router company that is based in the United States. They probably exist, but they are not mass market.
I think
even
TP-Link is now headquartered in California.
They're probably made in Taiwan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Vietnam.
I
Probably-
forget exactly where they are. A lot of ones I was finding were made in Vietnam, but
Yeah.
still that is just straight up foreign country that is not the US.
What does this do for like IP or
ISPs. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, what
Yeah.
Xfinity? My guess right now is Xfinity, Verizon probably have just a boatload of routers in a warehouse somewhere that they're the ones sending to you. But like that needs to update it.
Well, I also know that there's sort of a workaround you can do where like all of the parts are basically made outside of the US, and then like there was a thing that
Assemble it here.
there's the thing that some companies were doing for a while where it was like all the parts but one were already assembled, and then they would ship all the parts and that one part to the United States, and they would put it in the thing, and they'd be like,
Made in the
United States.
Well, there's like guidelines for made in the USA or assembled in the USA. Like there's things that they need to like more than 60% or
Oh yeah, like the
80%. I
Trump
made up the
phone,
numbers.
right? Like the Trump phone,
exactly.
yeah, made in the
allegedly.
US. No, not even allegedly.
Also with the not Verizon, Xfinity routers and stuff, does that count? Because this says consumer.
yeah, I'm a
Why?
consumer. So consumer
Yeah, but
they
why-
define as for residential use and installed by the customer.
Installed by the customer. Okay, but
Any
because
Xfinity router you can have just shipped to you, and I can
Oh, okay,
install
that's what I was
it.
gonna ask.
I mean, maybe it's a weird thing where the way they're
the company's the one buying them in bulk, so I don't know if this would like apply to them. You know,
the fact that they say consumer grade, I think it's less of consumer bought and consumer grade. Again, it's like it's kind of weird. What they're doing is either companies can apply for like an extension to be allowed into the United States if they're proving that they're working on creating a manufacturing aspect in the United States to pass that.
I've seen that
Stupid.
go so
Nobody's
never.
gonna
We've
do
tried
that.
this so many times, it doesn't work. Or like similar to what DJI does, the company's just not going to release it in the US for X amount of time until this either stops or just not care.
Haven't we seen companies like buy a building, like an old manufacturing plant in the U.S. and then just slap a label on it and be
Foxconn.
like, we're gonna for sure make stuff here.
Yeah,
and then they go,
Foxconn.
okay, you're good.
They do a big groundbreaking thing in Arizona, and they're like, look at all these jobs, and then just leave them empty.
The United States is claiming the routers were directly implicated in the Volt, Flax, and Salt Typhoon cyber attacks, which were a set of cyber attacks a while.
Yeah, but I'm confused because the Salt Typhoon ones was about Cisco routers.
Okay, so this is the funny thing. is
United States.
Well, it's just like what? Like
They were Cisco and Netgear routers that were designed by U.S. companies, but the reason they were vulnerable is because the companies stopped providing updates for them. So they were unupdated security risk routers, which has nothing to do with who made them.
Yeah.
It has to do with who's continuing the software up there. So this is like saying,
Who's doing the cyber
hey,
attacks.
hackers targeted vulnerable things because they're vulnerable and probably shouldn't be used or should have been updated anymore. It has nothing to do with the fact. I get that there is like foreign countries that maybe we're worried about and stuff like this, but this feels like a blanket ban that is not actually helping anything.
Heavy-handed government intervention in tech? No.
It's So the residential thing I'm really confused about because I'm also confused there is if the main thing we're trying to protect is like government agencies and government information and stuff like maybe government shouldn't be using residential. That's what the ban should be. Government should stop using residential grade routers in like buildings or the ones made in these certain companies. But like, why do I need?
or have one.
Why does that make a difference if I'm using?
Or have one U.S. company like make a government grade one,
Yeah.
or like change one of the routers to be government grade, add features.
I think in theory, the reason it matters if you have one, Andrew, is that you are sort of inherently plugged into your telecom company's network. And like that is who all of these attacks were against. We're getting into telecom companies' networks. I don't know quite enough about this whole thing.
There's obviously so much more going on than what we're saying here, but it still feels like this wild blanket ban that doesn't really.
No, I agree. And also watch. This is, me predicting the future, but watch Oracle launch a new line of US-based routers.
Wait.
Next few
Oh my
days.
God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. No. I haven't. This is not a thing that's happened. I'm
I
just
know,
saying,
but it
like-
will. You know it will. And they'll be called Freedom Router.
Yeah.
So
God.
the cyber attacks were also on like energy, transportation, and water infrastructure stuff as well. So it's not just straight up just communications, although those were in there. I guess saying the router was directly implicated, I was like, well, yeah, it was online. It has to go through a router. But it's because those routers were missing their security updates and had vulnerabilities, which is like, yes, if things on the internet have vulnerabilities, people are going to attack them.
And
they shouldn't, but
I really don't know enough about this, but it's always been my understanding that, like, a big part of what routers are doing are like assembling these packets that are going out over, and so if they're putting like a router with malware on it can put
for sure
stuff in a packet that can make it pretty deep inside a network.
Yeah.
That is like the most like middle schooler friendly way I can describe network communication.
That's why Cisco was supposed to prevent this. That's their whole thing.
Yeah.
They do B2B.
It wasn't him. Is that Cisco?
no.
What? Is that a rapper too?
Damn it.
Shaggy.
Shaggy, yeah.
That's not the first time you've made that mistake.
Wait, this confuses me because I feel like if a company in the US made routers and those routers were not updated and weren't patched over time, they would also be susceptible to these attacks.
Yes.
Correct.
So what does this do?
I don't know. It's just they're going after the wrong I don't know. I
It's
imagine
like that is a very popular attack vector.
I
that
imagine
not
it is
changing.
it is all a bunch of like bullshit to just try to. They're so obsessed with stimulating American manufacturing, but they don't understand like the amount of work that it requires to actually build an entire business in the U.S. making various things like routers. Like, how often do people buy routers?
Once every 5 to 10 years.
It's just
Most people never buy a router.
Yeah.
they
It's
rent it from their telecom.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Counterpoint, David. If you had 1 million Optimus robots, you could make them for free whenever you wanted.
You know,
Think
I
about that.
didn't think about that. How much would an Optimus robot cost me?
It costs $0
can't
because it's made
afford
by
not
other Optimus robots.
How much would it cost me though?
I don't think you're allowed to have one.
Then how am I gonna get my router?
Send the robotaxi for it.
I'll just use Starlink. Yeah. So we want to talk about this because it was kind of hot news in the journalism world this week. Effectively, you guys probably know Grammarly, and there was also an app called Superhuman, and then Grammarly bought Superhuman, and now Grammarly is Superhuman, and Grammarly is a product of Superhuman. That's your breakdown.
Not confusing at all.
Not confusing at all. Multiple months ago, but only discovered fairly recently, people discovered this feature within Grammarly that effectively gives you advice based on various different writers that are well known in the writing world or like the tech writing world or things like that. So if you were writing an article or you were writing, I don't know, anything you're writing, you could say like, hey, what would Nilay Patel think about this writing that I'm doing?
So funny.
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I don't know if it was necessarily you asked Nilay Patel, but it was like if you asked a question
asked him
about
to
writing an article and it would say like, oh, it was called expert review and something would come up as an expert is here to give you an example. And that example would pop up as like, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but it said Nilay Patel and with a verified check mark like Twitter,
Which
just
is
sitting there for no reason.
No reason.
And then it would say like,
Not verified.
it would give some piece of advice, and then to their credit, it would say like, "This is inspired by Vergecast hosts and Verge editor-in-chief Nilay Patel because of blah blah blah. Have a source button." And then, first of all, no one's gonna click that source button. That doesn't count. So yeah, that's what a verified checkmark Nilay Patel would pop up and say.
Yeah.
Hey, not just him, a bunch of other journalists.
And it would also
as
do
well.
line edits too. Like if you had, it would like make suggestions based on your writing. And they were like, oh yeah, we pulled specific like pieces of work from various different journalists, and then we put it in this AI model, and now it can make suggestions. And it's like that's just not how this works at all. Like it's insane. And this feature has been deployed for multiple months, but people only found it recently. So
Well, no. It was deployed. It took a while for people to go. It's gone now. They took it away.
It was found recently by like it blew up.
I think a few months. I think last year.
Grammarly had added this feature late last year. Not a lot of people were using it. No one really noticed it. And then recently, it kind of popped up in the media because people started noticing it. And all these people started writing about it because the people that were writing about it were the people it was impersonating, effectively. Every article was like, this is impersonating authors, including me. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So funny enough, Nilay has this podcast called Decoder. He had already scheduled to have the Superhuman / Grammarly CEO on like the following week. And to that guy's credit, he actually did go on Decoder to talk to Nilay about it. And the interview was very tense.
From the get-go.
From the get-go.
From the start, yeah.
And so it became this whole kind of argument about what is attribution versus what is just stealing and using someone's likeness. And the CEO really just defends the idea that it's attribution. He talks about, there's a link that you can go to, and it clearly says that, this is inspired by this person, but like it had the check mark.
The check mark is
The check mark
is you can't defend it when you do, because everyone knows what the check mark means. In every other context, it means this is verified from this person.
Right.
If it's on social media, the check mark means this is definitely the person you think it is.
Theoretically.
Why do they put a check mark here? They put a check mark here to convince you that this is legit and this is definitely, like, they're not trying to necessarily convince you that this is actually the human editing your work, but they get about as close to that as possible. And it's definitely impersonation.
You can't convince me otherwise that it's not attempting to trick a person into
For
thinking this
sure.
is for real. I don't care what he said in that interview. I know it says at the like under that inspired by, but to put the check mark in is just straight up lying.
Yeah. There is a class action lawsuit going on, which is, I think, why the CEO couldn't really say a lot, because then it could be used against him in court. And it's insane to me that he would even do the interview when he knows Nilay is very combative about these kind of things.
Yeah. Well, then if he doesn't go on the interview, then the article is about how he pulled out of the interview.
Yeah, then it looks even worse.
Yeah. So it's either do you
I
get
don't know.
that?
I don't think that looks worse.
He made himself look worse in that interview, for sure.
Yeah, he made himself look good. We definitely recommend that you go listen to this or watch it. It's both on their podcast feed.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Seeing facial expressions in it is well worth it.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, the CEO's whatever laptop he's using should be blown up, because the wobble of the screen as he's talking, you're just watching him the whole time.
It was a
back
touch
and forth.
screen, Andrew.
If you watch
Yeah,
it
he
at
was like
1.5x screen, it looks like he's in the middle of an earthquake. It's wild.
Yeah. This really reminds me of when we had these conversations about these AI image generators and video generators, where if you would just put in like tech reviewer, like Marquez would just show up. You know, it reminds me of the whole like, who's in this training data? How are they stealing it?
Didn't we do that recently?
It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It was Sora.
Well, there was Sora, but there was also like Gemini. There was there was early ChatGPT stuff.
There was something a few weeks ago where I literally put in like a tech reviewer and it just popped out Marquez.
Oh yeah. When we were out South by Southwest, I said
Yes,
add
that's what it was.
I said
Yeah.
add a tech reviewer to this photo, and it just added Marquez, and then it said, but it did say I've added MKBHD,
It's the
which that's the same thing. It's like likeness versus
The weird thing about this is Nilay was looking at. So the reason the interview is so good is because like there's personal stakes here. Like it's literally impersonating Nilay. So
Yeah.
he's the one interviewing, which makes it much more tense. But like what the suggestion it wrote says it's from like using his body of work at The Verge and Vergecast. He's like, I would never say anything like this. I've never said anything ever like this. So it just feels like straight up lying. To the credit of the CEO, he said, like, this didn't work out really well. How are we supposed to get into the mind of an editor by only using the final published works?
Great question.
You can't.
I know. Exactly.
Maybe you
cannot.
can't.
And that's what they killed it, which I'm glad they got rid of it. But that's just impersonation and lying at that point. Who's to say that couldn't have just been like an AI software where Marquez Brownlee pops up, verified checkmark, and says a piece of advice that Marquez doesn't believe in at all. Windows is the best editing for 8K videos. Like, I love my Windows laptop. And then all it has to say is inspired by Marquez Brownlee's body of work he's an 20 million tech reviewer, blah, blah, blah. Source.
I made
dog
it.
software. It sucks.
Trust me, bro.
It's very trust me, bro, and also using the likeness of someone else to prove credibility. And it
I don't
just
see how you ship this feature and not think it's going to blow up in your face. Because in the best case version of this feature, it's like, wow, we're going to have testimonials of people going like, I love this product because it lets me get my work checked by these professionals, and the professionals going, no,
But that's-
obviously I would not. That's
what
like not what I would have done.
He said the reason the small team, he kept saying small team because
he
it
kept
sounds
being
like he
like,
wants
it was
to
a
not throw that
small
many people under the bus, which he should be under the bus because he ultimately approves it as CEO. But like, if you are, he keeps saying, you as the person, like you might want, like Grammarly is supposed to be your language arts teacher sitting right there and helping you make decisions. So he's like, this is a version where some experts you really respect might be right there helping you make corrections into
Eli
something.
was like, but I wouldn't make those.
But I wouldn't make those, and I'm not there. It's like, yeah, the reason we like all these people is the like personal connection we have to them personally. I don't want an AI just pretending they're them. This is basically, you're getting catfished.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Neil even said his line edits are usually just like feels messy, and that's the whole thing, you know.
Anyone
And it's,
who's ever had an editor knows that it's not very coherent thoughts. That
no,
are back
it's
to
just a lot of back and forth. And
I can't wait until Final Cut adds a Marquez editor, and then like I make a J cut, and it's like, great job, Marquez would have done this too.
Yeah, that feels bad.
It could
That's
happen.
really bad.
I think Grammarly took the wrong route with this product. I think instead of like people like obviously Nilay, great writer, people love his writing, but I think they should have gone with people who are known for being unbelievably opinionated writers and just force like I want to be writing an email to like Marquez about our health insurance plan or something like that. And then Grammarly's like, and then a little AI Slavoj Zizek, the Slovenian philosopher, pops up and is like, but what does this email have to do with the struggle of the self? And I'm like,
I'd like that.
yes, distract me. Susan Sontag comes up and is like, where are the mentions of gender? You know, Hector Berlioz pops up and is like, Ellis, you mentioned nothing about Beethoven's terrible use of the French horn.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Clippy could have done any of that.
Clippy could have done that.
Clippy could have done all of that.
That's what you stop replicating actual people and giving them that attribution is such a bullshit argument.
Yeah,
Free advice to any CEO: if you run a company that does any sort of AI product and your goal is to have it replace people in any way, think a little harder about how you think that's going to go.
yeah.
Just a little harder.
Just hire a funny
Also,
guy.
Yeah.
Take some accountability. All of them just seem to be like, oh, well, if the models we're using are going to like
Yeah, but he's being
pull up the work of blah, 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 and they're going to use that, then that's what the models are going to do. Shut the up, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean,
on.
pretty much every AI CEO makes the argument that this is just an average of like a bunch of stuff. So it's not copying everything. It's just making new content based on like every AI CEO is like, well, you could have read all of Nilay's writing and then edited like him. And it's like, no, you can't. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
learning. And also, like, it sounds like it's so funny that the one example they're arguing over the whole time is a bad, like, just straight up didn't work in the voice at all.
Yeah.
Which makes it look even worse.
I think the flaw with that logic would be thinking that all of Nilay's thoughts and experience that he's ever had exists in a training data set.
Yeah.
Which, as a human with their own thoughts and experiences that they have not submitted to a training data set, no.
I mean, ultimately, that's what people in Silicon Valley generally think. Like, they think that you can model everything. They think that with enough information, with enough data, with enough training, you can simulate everything, you know? And so they're like, maybe you can, but we're not even close to that yet.
Yeah,
you know?
that's probably why this interview is so good, because it's one of the people who you think you have enough data from, and it's like, no, you just don't have enough data, and frankly, I don't want you to have enough data to simulate who I am.
Right, because you're not paying him.
Because
either.
the data that Nilay's brain was trained on are things like his childhood, like things that you can't you can't do that, bro. It doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. So until you put it in a vat.
No.
Go listen to the interview. It's fantastic.
Well, watch the interview.
Or watch.
So you can get like
watch it.
seasickness. Yeah.
Also part of the Vox Media Podcast Network.
VMPN,
True.
baby. Okay. Well, I think we're going to take it to one more ad break. But
And then I'm going to yap about a mouse again afterwards.
that's right. We love mice. Yes. We love mice. We love Ellis yapping about speakers.
Yeah. To the one person that
was
has
not-
read
it was
Hector
not-
Berlioz's treatise on orchestration other than me, I hope you enjoyed my little reference.
If he's famous, I'm sure a lot of people did.
don't know who that is.
Ellis, I agree with everything you say and love everything you say about audio, and I've never interrupted you once about it.
It's this part of it's this composer who wrote a book about how to write for all the instruments a long time ago, and he was really angry. And there's this whole passage in the French horn section where instead of talking about how to write for French horn, he just goes into this giant beef with Beethoven, and he's like, "That guy Beethoven sucked at French horn. He was a coward on the French horn." It's very fun to read.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
I did not.
Ellis.
That was a soundboard. That was not me.
Sorry, Ellis. I forgot you were talking. What were you? No, that's interesting.
I did that to Andrew in the weekly meeting yesterday, where he said something, and then immediately I was like, "But what about this thing that Andrew just said?" And then I had to DM him and say, "I'm sorry, did you say something?"
Karma. That was karma.
It's kind of
Karmic retribution. Okay,
right.
next question. Well,
Okay.
next question. Question number 2.
yeah.
What year, and we're doing closest without going over. Yeah. What year did Apple release Apple Maps? Oh.
Was
Wait,
that the
you
year?
have access to the doc. Wait, don't look. I want you to guess too.
Was that that was the year that people were driving into the lakes, right?
I know the
I
answer.
remember how poorly the launch went. I gotta remember the year. Okay.
There's a joke in
This is a
Silicon Valley, the
WWDC
show.
announcement.
Yeah.
It was a dub announcement.
I'm pretty sure.
In Silicon Valley, the show, they're doing like a control group, and they're like, "Oh, this is bad," and he goes, "How bad? Apple Maps bad?"
Sick.
That is the bar.
One more mouse thing to talk about.
I'll make it
the
quick.
break.
I won't.
We'll be right back. Support for the show comes from Zapier. So when it comes to incorporating AI into your workflows, there's a lot to consider and lots of trend chasing, but actually making it happen starts with the right tools like Zapier. Zapier is how you break the hype cycle and put AI to work across your company for real. It can help you actually deliver on your AI strategy, not just talking about doing it. Their AI orchestration platform allows you to bring the power of AI to any workflow so you can do more of what matters. You can connect top AI models like ChatGPT and Claude to whatever tools your team already uses so you can incorporate AI exactly where you need it. That could be workflows, an autonomous agent, a customer chatbot, or whatever else. You can orchestrate it all with Zapier, letting you do more with the rest of your time. And it's for everyone, tech expert or not. According to data from Zapier, teams have already automated over 300 million AI tasks using the platform. So join the millions of businesses transforming how they work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/wave. That's ZAPIER.com/wave.
All right, welcome back to Andrew's Mouse Corner again. I kind of wanted both of these the same week, but then I kind of thought this one was never coming in, and then it came in after we did the Ponage Sim 3 last week.
You got to order one for next week now, so you keep it going.
That will never happen.
This just order a Cyborg Rat 7.
If you order the Cyborg Rat 7, I'll do a review on the podcast next week.
Okay,
Do
noted.
it. I will smash that thing by the end. This is the Logitech Pro X2 Super Strike. Not a great name, but
A lot of words.
this is kind of like the most hype mouse in the scene right now for a couple of reasons. One, Logitech G Pro has been kind of like the de facto tried and true gaming mouse for years at this point. I think you could look at like Valorant or Counter-Strike stats of how many people use a specific mouse, and I think the G Pro is top of the list every single time. But so this is the exact same form factor, but Logitech finally decided to do something kind of cool because they've been kind of boring for a while. This mouse on its the exterior is just everything you'd kind of expect. It's not too flashy. It's nothing like really bad. It's nothing really good. It's just a good form factor. 2 buttons, symmetrical. It's everything you would want. But this one is doing something a little different. This actually has no switches. Not mechanical or options. There are no switches. This is
optical?
fully haptic.
What?
Similar to
Is
like
it Hall effect?
no, it's not Hall effect. It's haptic. Those are optical switches. It's like your MacBook trackpad. How it is essentially a fake click. And
Whoa.
the reason I want to bring it onto this is because I can get reactions from all of you. Because the easiest way to test what this feels like is I will hand this to you.
Okay.
And I want you to click the buttons. You can even do them in the microphone. Click the buttons right now. What do they feel like?
Mush.
Like broken, right?
They do move,
They do move.
but feels like I'm not actuating.
Sure.
anything.
Now the switch on the bottom, flip that on, and now start clicking.
feels like a
The
click.
sound is not fantastic, but
The sound's not great, but there is a
there's
it's
a
pretty
feel to it.
convincing click.
I'll
to
let
it.
David try this now. This is off.
Would you say that you just want to click? You just want to click?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah, that feels mushy.
It feels broken, right?
Yeah, it feels broken. Does the on
Now flip it on.
switch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing audio.
It's great for audio listeners. I mean, we're getting
Oh yeah, okay. So it goes from feeling like broken to like there's something there. There's still a lot of actuation.
I agree with you.
force.
I'm not like full. Well, so that's one thing.
That's higher than I would like.
That's something that now we can do with this mouse is we can change a couple different things. We can change actuation force.
Oh.
We can change
interesting.
essentially like the clickiness of it, and you can change what it's calling rapid trigger, which is essentially was really popular on keyboards a couple years ago. Stuff like snap tap, where not
ban
only it got worked in certain things, like it could do things that programs would make it think was possibly cheating, because essentially what it's doing is if you have an actuation length going down until the button's actuated, essentially what you could do is the lift off to reset that could be
Also
very,
an
very small. You can make it really
I
small.
see.
So a way this can be really beneficial is if you're in a game where, let's say, you have a gun that's semi-automatic. So each click is one shot. If that gun is really strong, but the like weakness of it is it's semi-automatic, but now you can make your actuation really small and your reset activation really short as well. You can just and it feels like an automatic gun.
That would hurt my
essentially.
finger.
That's pretty sick that you can customize.
And so right now I have the left click as a 5 in your haptics.
Out of 5.
5 out of 5, and the right is on 1. So if you click these now,
5, right is
it's not a big difference, but there are 5 levels of activation in per button. Buttons can be different as well. It's just, this is kind of a cool thing in the mouse
new is
world,
this?
I guess. This is brand new. This is within a month.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to try left versus right. Like I said, this isn't like the craziest thing, but like the ability to have this in a mouse is such a smaller version of where you can put this in versus a keyboard where you have full PCBs and individual switches and everything.
Yeah.
So I thought this was kind of cool. I don't have much to say about it.
How much is it?
$180. There is one other cool thing, which is super niche, which is a lot of people, when they're doing something called bunny hopping in first-person shooters, they actually change their jump button from the space bar to the wheel so that you can just... Bunny hopping is when you jump and you hit the jump like the second you hit the ground, which carries momentum in a lot of games, which lets you move faster. So when people do it on the wheel, it makes it so you're always hitting the jump as you land, because you're not just pressing space one time, you're scrolling through it, which is like 10 jumps at a time, right?
You can just scroll.
You can just scroll to be your jump. So that's how people will make sure that their jump is always landing at the perfect point. This has a bunny hop mode, so like it makes it really
I know I wasn't bad at
sensitive.
FPSs.
What?
I know I wasn't bad at FPSs. I just don't have the right
Yeah, you
mouse.
just weren't bunny hopping
I just don't have
correctly.
the equipment.
It has a thing so you can't accidentally scroll the scroll wheel when you're clicking buttons, which can happen sometimes because if you jump when you're trying to fire, you completely screw up recoil and everything. But yeah, there's not much to this. I will say, since this is a totally new technology in a thing that you press thousands of times in a life cycle very quickly, I would probably wait till like
Is it that
people are
new
using this for a while.
We have haptic touch like trackpads, like you mentioned. So there's a motor in there, and then there's the sort of attachment to the moving piece. Theoretically, that's similar tech to the trackpad. Like that should last a long time.
Think about how often you click on your trackpad versus how often you might click in like one game of Counter-Strike.
Dude,
That's fair. Yeah, that's
amount of
pretty
clicking
a lot.
Dota. The amount
Yeah,
of
or
clicking
Dota. Dota is literally all movement is
don't know
based on
anything about
clicking. It's probably
You're right.
500 to 1,000 clicks like a game.
Probably more.
It might be more where like you do that on
Definitely
this
more.
trackpad. Like
Dota's like an
know,
hour long game, and to move you have to be like
you're just
Interesting.
my computer is going crazy with this attached right now. But yeah,
I want to do a LAN party.
want
one
to
day
try
and
this.
Actually, play Dota and Valorant and all that stuff.
Dude, I don't know
I'm
how
such dog at Valorant now, but
I don't know how anyone gets into Dota. It's like the most complicated.
because
game.
I don't know. Like
MOBAs
you
are hard
guys
to
say
get
these
into.
games, I know nothing about them.
I'll play with
don't
you one
wanna
day.
know
We'll
anything
play.
about
Yeah.
it. You
Let's
don't wanna
play.
know.
Let's play Valorant.
Let's play a Let's Play.
Let's play. Let's play.
All right,
so let's
Studio
I'm
stream.
down.
Yeah, I'm Guardian 5, which is the second lowest tier, and I've 4,800 hours in it.
Well, Marquez just bought his rat mouse, so
Yeah.
You bought the mouse?
No, I should. I really want to though.
I
If
want
I
to
had
just
the Rat
try it.
7, I'd be better at Dota.
I bet you that mouse. How much does that mouse weigh? This is 60 grams.
It can weigh as much as you want.
Yeah,
because
it's
got weight.
customizable.
It's. I remember the days of adding weights where now everyone is like, I need to shave grams off of my mouse.
It
If
could
this thing is
weigh-
over 35 grams, I ain't touching it.
It could weigh up to 157 grams.
That's like MS
having
Master.
a mouse with progressive overload is crazy.
It's like it's weight training.
It's modular, baby.
So
Specs.
the AI overview, which is almost definitely wrong, but it says that one game of Dota can be between 5,000 to 10,000 clicks.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's why. To be fair, this is something where like gaming really loves to do and we've seen this with frame rates and graphics cards and everything. Is like you need this to be better, but it's like the top 0.5% might find like a huge difference in this. I do think this will be more interesting than like snap tap because counter strafing is something that is really hard to do. But in games where just like a semi-automatic rifle might need to fire faster, you can do that so easily on a mouse like this. I need to go home and actually try it. But now I have 2 mice to try and no time to try them.
3.
So I'm just going to start playing games at work.
Yeah, it's James Bond, no time to try. Can I also make a quick announcement?
Sure.
Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh my god.
This band.
All
that
right, trivia.
I've been waiting. Their album still didn't come out. Okay.
That's the announcement.
They announced a show in June,
That's the announcement.
but in December, they said that there wouldn't be another show until the album comes out, which was last June. So the album was supposed to come out. So
So is the Tesla Roadster going to come out?
You went Siri 2.0 or Streetlight Manifesto first?
ooh, that's a good question. Probably at the same time. Someone was joking on the Streetlight subreddit that the reason it hasn't come out was because their music is going to be in GTA 6's like the radio station. So they're just delaying it alongside GTA
that'd be
6.
hilarious.
Anyway, I just had to tell you guys that. For my like 2 fans out there that care about this. I know there's at least 2 though, because Alice told me that at South by Southwest somebody said that her husband cared about Streetlight.
She was like, my husband's a huge fan of the podcast. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've never seen an episode. I don't really know anything about it, but I do know that someone on the podcast is like a fan of this really small band I'm really, really into. And I was like, it's Streetlight Manifesto and David, isn't it? She was like, yeah.
So thank you. Now we can do trivia.
Can I tell you guys a funny AI overview thing that happened to me a little bit ago?
Yeah.
I was trying to Google the English translation. I was trying to see if there was an English translation of this book that's like a collection of folklore that I really wanted to read. And so I searched English and then the name of the book. And it's like a collection of these stories. And AI Overview mixed up the ISBN, which is like the book registration number with the number of stories in it. So it said, The Mabinogion is a collection of 11-125023925508111137281102338018012321154 medieval Welsh prose tales. I don't know what that number is, but I guarantee you there is not that much of anything in anywhere.
That's almost as long as the Cimmerillion.
Oh, there's way more.
I had a huge fight with,
AI overview.
well, it was like Google Lens search and then the AI like I was trying to find a keycap that was on the Mech Keyboard subreddit. And I said, what is this? And it like kept bringing me, it's like, oh, it's this and this model from this artist and it's on this website. I'm like, I can't find it on the website. Are you sure? Oh, just kidding. It was actually this one for so long. And then I kept
You're
going
absolutely right.
it just kept saying, it's definitely from this. I said, what picture? Show me, link, just send me a link. Only give me the link. Don't say anything else. And I just never got it. And then I just replied on the subreddit. And in like 5 minutes, he answered what it was from. And I was like, I hate AI so much.
Breaking.
It
Talking
never
to
got it right.
humans is better than talking to a
Did it
computer.
just send you this picture over and over again?
A key on a baseball cap.
Keycap? Keycap?
Damn,
Guys,
that's a fire hat. Holy,
Wait, you should buy that.
I should definitely buy this.
how many Wikipedia pages are there called
I hate photos
Apple
so much.
TV? And I'm looking for Delta. You can go over.
Delta Airlines.
Do you know why it's called Delta Airlines?
Because
It
you're
changes
moving.
what place you're in.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
I made that up. That's not true.
I thought you were going to say,
probably
because
true.
No, it's almost as definitely because of
Price is Right
Steve
Airlines.
Delta.
I was going to say Delta Wings, but jetliners don't use Delta Wings. So
Delta Christ.
I don't.
I think it's actually just changing where you are.
It's just changing.
I think he was actually on the Deltatarian diet and just came back from it.
He was eating only triangles. Allegedly, it is named after the Mississippi Delta. Guys, how many
is
Wikipedia
that?
pages? Whoever gets
a river.
closest.
It's a
the
river.
mouth of the river. I said
out.
6.
6 is incorrect.
Okay.
I said 7.
That is also incorrect.
I said 7.
That is third incorrect. But Marquez was closest.
I knew
There are
it.
3.
Oh.
There is
It's kind of a trick question.
there is the page for the Apple TV hardware device, the Apple TV streaming service, and the Apple TV app, which you can get on other
because these are
devices.
dedicated pages.
So
That
I
are
thought
like
there would be more
updates.
than one for the hardware device.
There are
like
3 things called-
2026, 2024.
But there's not separate pages. There's just
4K.
one page that details all of them.
No, these are 3 separate Wikipedia pages.
Well,
No,
no,
I know
no.
those are. I'm talking about the hardware.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes, no. 3
I'll take
separate
the point, though.
Yeah.
Apple TV Wikipedia
Marquez
pages.
needs the point, so I'll give it to him.
Not a single TV made by Apple. I'm now going to hand it off to Adam for a quick update on that score.
Hannah de Montana it up.
Marquez with 19.
Got a point.
Andrew with 19. David way in the lead, 23. Jesus. Yeah. Next question. What
Really
year
got out of hand.
did Apple release Apple Maps?
What year?
Closest without
being
going over.
Too high?
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's this, but let me think. So dub, let's see. I don't know, probably was farther. Without going too high?
Indeed. Without going too high.
Dang. Yeah, I'll try it.
And flip 'em and read. What do you guys got?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh wow. We all
I'm
have
just
to
going to say all of you are wrong, but tell me what your answers are.
I wrote 2017.
Nope.
I wrote 2014.
Nope.
2010.
Nope. But Andrew gets the point.
Because I didn't go over,
Because you
baby.
didn't go over.
Let's go.
It was 2012.
Oh.
That's my first point.
2020.
Maybe in 2026.
No.
I went on a
Wait.
blazing lead to start,
Historic
and I
run.
have not had anything.
Guns blazing.
It's essentially the New Jersey Devils.
We're gonna have to do
Blow it out of the water and then just
Oklahoma
die.
City Thunder.
Yeah.
Sacramento City Kings.
Oh,
That's because I grew up there.
yeah, that's a good.
I went to a lot of games. Kobe wasn't.
Nope.
Sorry, he was on the
Oh, that's Bam.
BAM. No, it was no, the old guys.
Yeah, you got this.
When the Kings were good.
Hit it.
Page? No,
Mike
he was not.
Bibby? Are you a Bibby fan?
Bibby. I had a bobblehead of Bibby of Mike Bibby. Yeah,
The baby bobblehead?
Bibby bobblehead. Kevin Durant.
No.
No.
Doug.
Peja Stojakovic. Does that
Peja
ring a bell?
Stojakovic.
He was
Doug Christie.
Doug
Doug Christie.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, Doug Christie.
Brad.
Mike Bibby.
Brad.
Lander. Brad.
No.
Brad.
Miller.
I'm
I
glad.
don't know. My grandpa was really into Kings basketball, so we went to a lot of games actually.
Wow.
I was waiting for you to explain the film in basketball terms, and you never did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the film. Oh, yeah. Somebody posted this photo. So, well, okay. Real quick. I got to give you guys. Okay, I got to tell you about this. I'll explain. I'm sorry. It's not about Streetlight, though. It's about film. Okay, so Kodak. You know Kodak.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
I know Kodak.
They went out a bit. They went bankrupt a long time ago.
I believe you.
Yeah, they went bankrupt. Kodak was basically like IBM. They were like one of the biggest companies in the world for quite a long time. Then they went bankrupt because they were stupid. And then
Because nobody shoots film anymore.
that's not true. I do. Anyway, they had to split into 2 separate companies as part of the bankruptcy, and they became Kodak and Kodak Alaris. Kodak Eastman and Kodak Alaris. Okay. The way that the deal worked was that Kodak Eastman would produce the film, and they would sell the film to Kodak Alaris, which would then sell the film to consumers. They'd package it, sell it to consumers.
Really strange bankruptcy.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't really get
Hey,
it.
we don't have any money, so let's just be the same company, but 2 companies. that do
Yeah,
the same thing. But
I don't.
more complicated.
There's details and there's business stuff.
Tax reasons.
Tax reasons. I don't know. Anyway, fairly recently, Kodak Eastman, and I'm not sure why this started happening, became able to sell film itself again. So now Kodak Alaris still exists, who they are still selling film to, but they have new packaging and new names for like a lot of the film that they're selling. So there's like Ultramax and like there's Portra and all this stuff. Portra is the Kodak Eastman like name for the film, but Alaris name for the film, but the Kodak Eastman version is now called like Kodacolor or something like that.
Okay.
So anyway, over the last like 6 months, they've been re-releasing all these films, but with like different packaging and different names, generally cheaper because they don't have to sell it. Eastman doesn't have to, no, Alaris doesn't have to make a margin. Anyway, on Instagram, they posted, we just released this new film. And someone said, can you explain this to me in basketball terms? Okay.
David.
So I think my basketball thing would be like if Mike Bibby and Kobe
Bryant.
Is that bad to say?
No, it's a basketball player.
Kobe Bryant.
All-time
Okay.
greats.
Mike Bibby and Kobe Bryant were like best friend. Were like the same person, and then they split into two people. This is a bad analogy. I can't
They
make
are
the basketball analogy. I don't know enough about basketball to make the
I
basketball.
think that's a hard thing to do.
I could do a
anyways, 'cause
tech analogy.
People can't split in half.
If you can make a tech analogy, I will try to make it a
Okay.
basketball.
Okay. Good. This is like telephone.
He just
I like
did.
this. I like this.
Film company split in two. Basketball it.
But
No. Okay.
But what's a
let me
tech-
let me do a tech analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine if Android had to spin off from Google, right? And or Chrome. Let's say Chrome. Okay. And Google still made Chrome, but they couldn't distribute it. And Chrome, the company, was the one that like actually packaged it and distributed it to people. And then later on, for some reason, Google was once again able to make Chrome, and because Chromium is open source, because they still have the rights to do it.
Yeah.
They released it under Google Chrome as opposed to just Chrome. You
Okay.
know?
I got a version.
Okay, basketball.
It would be like if Kevin Durant played for a Seattle team called the Supersonics, and then
Nice.
at some point they went away and they split. Kevin Durant went to another team, and the Supersonics went away and became Oklahoma City Thunder. And then later, the NBA was like, we should make an expansion team in Seattle. And Kevin Durant went back to the Seattle team.
I like it.
Okay, we should clip that and comment on that guy's comment.
Let's see if that works. That might
Yeah.
not be ever.
That was like a game of telephone.
It might happen. It might not. All that, we've learned a lot on the pod.
That's some
We
human
had
centipede ass explanations.
Yeah.
All
Hopefully some of that is accurate. Hey, thanks for watching. See you in April.
Wait, really?
It's been a really long March. I know. It's
Oh,
been,
yeah.
Oh, it will
been
be because
April
extremely
1st.
long
Wait, is it going to
Wednesday.
be April 1st when we record?
next time we record will be April officially.
April 1st.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hyping. I think we finally killed that feature. Either way, catch you guys next week. Peace.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Riven. We're partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our outro music was created by Vane Still.
Bingo.
It's a quick one.
In hindsight, if I was a teacher and I gave this assignment, this would probably be like a lesson in like just how big the solar system is. But I was a very literal, I was like, I have to make everything the right size.